Hello, guys. This is actually a bit of a weird one. This is um, 1 month of Ironman progress, but I don't know if I'm actually going to post this yet or if I'm going to wait till quite a while when I don't have anything else to post and then I can crack open the vault and just start posting these. By then, hopefully, I'd have a few months saved up so I can do them kind of regularly. But this is right now a character on Oldschool Runescape, Ironman, which is exactly 1 month old. So we'll just have a look at a quick breakdown here. Combat level 87, total levels 1483. Here's the total XP. Quests completed, we've done 155 out of 173 quests. Quite a lot. Achievements completed, we've completed over half the achievements too. We've got easy tier done in combat tasks, and collection log is just whatever, right? So the time played is 16 days in 31 days. So that is a lot, but I obviously spend a lot of time at my PC. Even when I'm not actively playing, I can just be logged on doing stuff AFK. So that is where the majority of that playtime comes from. So how I actually started was I followed Boat's guide, which you can find on the wiki, and it'll take you from basically from zero, from literally starting on Tutorial Island, and it will take you all the way through to sort of early endgame. I got to just before Perilous Moons here, and that's when the Torchlight League launched. So I decided I would just start AFKing. So when I came back to actively play an old school, I would have higher stats, more items, stuff like that. And yeah, it's actually worked out so pretty well so far. So that is sort of the intro, how I set the account up. Something that Bodhi's guide actually does really well is it will actually take you all the way through like quests. I done a few extra quests because I'm actually big fan of quests in RuneScape in general. This isn't my first time playing. This is, God, I'm trying to think of how many accounts I've had now over the 20 years that I've played RuneScape, but I think I've done QuestCape about 5 or 6 times at this point on different accounts. Yeah, it's just really fun when you have like a couple of months where there's nothing really releasing, right? So you just fire up a new account, do a quick QuestCape, and then just bin it, right? Yeah, like I said, I am a long-term RuneScape player. I've played since I was a kid, like a lot of people have. I did actually play RS3 for a very, very long time. My main on RS3 has quite a few 200 mils. Anything that isn't 200 mil, it is 120. So quite quite a lot of hours played on RS3. So this isn't my first rodeo, so it was easier for me to follow the Boaty guide because it is sort of more set out for experienced players who are already got a grasp on mechanics such as like tick manipulation, right? So that helped me a lot there. Quests. I actually have these sorted by ones we can start. I've gained some of the requirements for these since I started AFKing, so if not, I would have completed them before the Torchlight League launched. And here is the skill breakdown. So a lot of these are just done passively in the guide, how the guide says to do them. I will start at the top. So obviously combat, that is mainly through quests, Slayer, and since I've been AFKing, Crab has actually been great for that. I mainly do that while I'm in my WoW retail raid, and that is because it's way more AFK, and I can just click in between wipes, right? So it's not really affecting the raid, and I'm just getting passive combat XP there. Agility was done with mainly Agility Pyramid and Brimhaven Agility, which is in the Boaty guide. Mining, I've actually been AFKing calcite deposits because it banks prayer XP too. And you can see here I need 127k bone shards to bank 70 prayer, and I'll be getting that through mining, which I'll talk about in a minute. Smithing was done completely at Giant's Foundry and then topped up with Quest to 70. Fishing was Temporos. This is all in the guide. If you followed the guide, you would get all of these stats basically. Cooking was from raw fish banked from Temporos. Woodcutting, I actually didn't two-tick teaks for the woodcutting. I'd done it for like an hour or maybe an hour and a half, and I was just really bored, so I just decided to AFK it while I was doing other stuff. And I AFK'd it on Fossil Island because I pre-grew a teak and a mahogany. Farming is obviously through medium farming contracts, which are powering the account right now. Herblore is banked at the minute. I will go to banked XP and get Herblore, and we actually have 67 and a half roughly banked out of 70, which is needed for Song of the Elves, so that's well on its way to 70. Thieving, I think the guide where I got up to leaves you at like mid 60s, maybe earlier, and I've done all of this through AFK civilians in Valamor, wealthy citizens. Sorry. Crafting was glass blowing, the classic Ironman method. Fletching is just Veil Totems was actually quite fun. It's a new mini game that's been added since Bodhi did this version of the guide. Slayer, obviously Slayer. Hunter from I haven't caught a single mob. It has all been through birdhouse runs that I just do periodically throughout the day. Yeah, and then these two are quite low, but the plan would be construction with mahogany logs, not mahogany logs, sorry, mahogany home to 70, which I have banked. I have the teaks banked from when I done woodcutting, and I have the gold from pickpocketing wealthy citizens. And then runecrafting would just be like Guardians of the Rift, and then the other combat stats are just crab, right? Because how I actually foresee it is I'm probably gonna be AFKing for at least the next month while we finish off the Torchlight League, and then we have the PoE League right after. I'm just going to be having a lot of fun with those with the time I get to play. So I'm just going to be AFK and old school the whole time. So the next time I record one of these is probably going to be a whole month of AFK. So we'll see where we get. But I had it written down actually here in the notepad, actually things that I'm planning to AFK. So thieving, I think I'm going to thieve until I've got 10 mil cash, which I'll go through the bank in a minute and I'll check the seed vault and you can see. But I think I'm going to thieve until I've got 10 mil cash, and here's where I'm kind of divergent from the guide. I'm actually going to use that cash for the 70 construction requirement for Song of the Elves, and I'm also going to buy burst runes from Mage's Guild. I think they're from. They might be from Ali Morrisane in the desert, but from either one of those, I'm going to buy burst runes and going to get zombie axe that way. That should leave us with a few mil, like 4 to 5 mil, hopefully, maybe a little bit more. Who knows? But that should leave us with just some cash we can just play around with, and then from there we can sort of start chipping away at like the early bosses, so like barrows, twin moons, or perilous moons, whatever they're called, and stuff like that. Right, so that is like AFK thieving. I think once I've got that 10 mil cash, because that should be in like 4 to 5 days, I'll have that finished. I'm going to start mining calcite until I have 70 prayer banked, which should take me to about 70 mining, I think, maybe more. Have to see how that ends up. Either way, I think if it was not 70 yet, I would finish 70 off there, just because it's purely AFK. Crab, I kind of want to avoid crab because I don't want to get my combat too far ahead of Slayer because it doesn't really make sense, right? So I think I'd prefer to do super AFK stuff like mining and like thieving now from the wealthy citizens. So we will take a look at the bank. So here's the bank, 6.4 mil cash. Like I said, the goal's 10 mil for the burst runes and for the 70 construction requirement for Song of the Elves. Um, First page is just, random stuff, tools. Spirit flakes are from Temporos. House keys. So house keys, you use up 20 house keys per hour when you rob the houses in Valamor. And I have 4,200 banked. So if I go to the calculator, oh, this isn't an actual calculator. Never mind. I did have it up earlier, but okay. Anyway, um, whatever. It's is not what I thought it was, but okay. But anyway, I figured out earlier. Um, we have enough for 200 hours of burglarizing houses in Valamor. Um, so that is roughly 16 to 18 mil thieving XP banked there if I wanted to cash that in. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to thieve until I've got 10 mil gold and then maybe come back and do these house keys at some point because the actual they drop a lot of jewelry which would be helpful for early Ironman. But I think it's not as AFK as just pickpocketing from citizens. So I think I just prefer to get the lower XP rate, which is about 40k an hour at wealthy citizens at this level, and just do it completely AFK and then move on to something else. And then we have these maybe in the bank if we want to use them up. Rest of this is just like, this is just the trash tab. This is just the um, stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else. Volcanic ash is obviously from Fossil Island. Is for ultra compost, which we make here in the farming guild. Don't think there's anything else really that interesting in this first page. It's all just, just stuff that doesn't fit in other tabs. Here's our Blessed Bone Shards at the start. Here's our calcified deposit from the start of calcite, or calcified deposits, whatever they're called. And then just some quest items at the bottom here. Over in the next tab, this is just our like farming and our birdhouse run tab. All these mahogany logs came from the mahogany tree that we planted on Fossil Island, and then just semi AFK to bank them once we got the agility shortcut. Dixite pendants, need to make a few more. Here's our bird's nest that we haven't opened yet. Trees, I haven't actually planted any of these trees, and then if these aren't trees here, these are just like the worthless seeds that I get out of the seed vault, and I just use these for birdhouse runs. Here's our clothing tab, Rogue's outfit we've got equipped, which doubles the amount of loot you get from pickpocketing, which is really cool. Here's our jewelry tab. A couple of cool placeholders that I actually saved while I was questing. You'll see a couple of these in a second. Here's our like skilling tab and our herbal tab. You can see we've got quite a few prayers saved up, quite a lot of irrits saved up for super attacks, and these are just from farm runs. I actually stopped doing the farm runs. I'm just saving the seeds for now because I was using more seeds than I was gaining, so we'll just save the seeds for now, and then we'll get back on the herb runs and should even out again. Not too much else in here that was like crazy grinds or stands out as like super impressive. Oh, we got a bowstring spool from Valdomes. We done it for like an hour and then we got this, so that was actually really cool to save the points on that. So hit this placeholder. I don't know if this is morbid or not, but I actually saved the corpse of a woman I am as a placeholder in my bank from the Mountain Door quest, just because it looked cool, not because I want the body of a woman in my bank. So that's what that is. I just thought it looked like a cool placeholder. I actually saved some more of them in tab 7. You'll see in a sec. Um, Here's our melee setup. Super newbie, but this is a 1 month old account. Crystal's shield is from Roving Elves. Ghostly robes and Lunas are our current mage setup. Range, we can't actually wear it yet, but we did two hard clue scrolls, and we got black d'hide body, black d'hide chaps. So with the Barrow's gloves, those are saved as our range setup when we hit 70. Like in a couple of crab sessions, we should be 70. This was just like a junk tab of stuff I needed to alch or sell to the general store. So this is what this tab is and why it's nearly empty. So this is just a placeholder tab. This is from Raising All the Cats for the early death runes. These gems I think just look cool, and we'll probably put them in the skilling tab. We've got the KGP ID card, and then we've got the Grigris at the bottom. I think we need these for Monkey Madness too when we get onto it, and then just another junk tab at the end. So I'll quickly look at the Seed Vault. The Seed Vault is looking pretty juicy. Haven't updated these favorites in quite a while. This is from when we first started. Yeah, watermelon seeds we use a lot of. We just grow one here. We keep one pre-planted, and then when we do the farming contract, we put all of the watermelon into the compost bin, and we just get super compost from that. A lot of these seeds I just withdraw to use in birdhouse runs. Here's our seeds, which are obviously the main ones because Ironman early on kind of got grow your own herbs pre Song of the Elves. So here's the bulk of our herb XP and where that comes from. You can see I'm just stacking these up, and then when we've got a good enough store of these, we'll start doing the herb runs again. Hop seeds will mainly get used for birdhouse runs. Whiteberries, something that isn't actually put in Bowie's guide, but I thought this was just a cool little optimization. I actually planted a whiteberry at the Kandarin Monastery because you teleport there a lot to use the fairy ring. So every time I go there and I come back to like the farming guild on a contract, I just fill my inventory with white berries from that bush, and then I just bank it when I get here. So we've got quite a few white berries saved up just from that. So that's a cool little thing I done. Maybe not optimal, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. Here's our seeds, which is where we're going to get a lot of XP from, but we can obviously have these banked and then just cash it in later. Fruit trees, again, just a lot of XP, especially like these palm trees, papayas, dragon fruit, pineapples, and we get to them. Calquats, we've got a lot. 19 Hesperies, which again, we're just saving these up for now. Yeah, and that is basically it, to be honest with you, to talk about. Early account, obviously low goals right now because we're mainly AFKing, and yeah, I guess over the next month when I make another one of these, you're probably gonna see, depending on what I do, maybe mid 70s mining, maybe 99 thieving. I might go all the way to 99 thieving with wealthy citizens, but that's quite a lot of hours need to put into that, and could just put them elsewhere on the account, right, and just progress in a different axes of the account. But yeah, that's it for now, right? Like the next month or so is just hard AFK while I'm doing other stuff at the PC. Pickpocketing wealthy citizens, maybe mining, maybe fishing, maybe woodcutting, something like that. Crab when I'm in WoW raids, and then just periodically doing birdhouse runs and farming contracts, and then eventually it'll be tree runs every day once we've got some stashed up, and yeah. But that's the first month of this Ironman. We'll see what it's like next month. Gonna, like I said at the start, very weird because not posting this right now, probably just saving this for later on. So this might get posted in like January, who knows? But it's there. That's that recorded. Oh, and the UI skin is from this, I can't remember what it's called, Resource Pack Hub, and it's Sakura Escape. So if you like the Kirby skin, that is where that is from. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the prog, and see you in the next month vid.